Hello everybody, this is Dro. Welcome back, and today I want to show you how to build this server lag-o-meter. How it works, we just step in, and if at any point we glitch through a piston, we know that we should either restart the server or kick and blacklist some people. So then, as a bonus feature, we can have a look at the gray and rainy sky, and if we want to get back down again, we just hit this button and a water drop will open at the bottom so that we don't break our legs. We can walk on out and it will close itself up again. So let's take a look at it in creative. So this is it right here. The actual elevator part has a footprint of 4 by 6, and you can make it 4 by 5 by eliminating this glass here and putting in a load of hopper minecarts, but even if you have an iron golem farm, that is not very practical. And why exactly I'm gonna talk about pretty much at the end of the video. And the logic down here has a size of 7 by 6 by 5. In case you're wondering what's going on, it's pretty much only this. We have a pressure plate down the bottom, a button up the top, and, well, the elevator part and the water drop, and then a memory cell connected to a bit of delay that you will get it in a minute. So when we press on the pressure plate, the piston elevator will activate, and if we activate the button up the top, we activate a water drop, but when the water drop is activated, it will block the signal from going to the elevator until we step on the pressure plate again. So that's pretty much what's going on there, and let's get on with the tutorial. So I'm gonna start off with most of the logic, and what we want to do is place a pressure plate. Doesn't matter if wood or stone, or even iron or gold. And I have placed it on the left side from where the elevator will be, so if you place it on the right side, you need to make everything mirrored. And I mean really everything, not just the part down the bottom. So what we want to do is place a redstone dot below the pressure plate and a sticky piston next to that on this side, and then place some slabs right here. Now what we want to do next is take an output from this block down below, not from the actual dot itself, with a repeater into this torch right here, and again a repeater into another torch, and then we just loop it back with a piece of redstone. Now behind here, sort of opposite from the repeater, we're going to put a redstone dot, again a block, and then blocks like this, and we just put 2 repeaters there on full delay into this block, and then again 2 repeaters on full delay going into the side of a repeater that comes out from the opposite side of the redstone dot. We want to run that into a torch right here, and we want to also put a torch above there, where on the powered block basically, and put a block on top of that, and that should power this redstone dust when this torch is knocked off. So like this. And I replace this torch right here. So what we want to do next is place a repeater on 4 ticks here and 2 pieces of redstone dust, and that goes into this torch on the side. Now that goes into a torch on the top of the block, and that again goes into the torch of the side of this block. And we're gonna work with that later. But for now, we're gonna put another torch tower right here, sort of a zigzag pattern. until we have 1, 2, 3 torches stacked on top of each other. And then we're going to place a sticky piston here with a normal piston in the front. Okay, now we want to place a slab right here, sort of in between the piston here and the redstone down below here, and place redstone dust on top of that. And what should happen now when we press on this pressure plate is this. And we can't change it or anything, it just stays like this. So now we're going to place a block right there to make it even. And around the back here we're going to place a block next to the block where the torch is on the side and put a hopper going into it. And on top of that we're going to place a repeater on 1 tick going into this block with a redstone dust on top, and that goes into this redstone torch right there. Now what we want to do now is create our piston pattern. So it goes like this. We have a piston on this side that's going to push us up, so we have a piston on this side next. So it works like this. We're going to put a sticky piston at the back, a normal piston facing upwards in front of it, and on the other side where the piston is not, we're going to put a block and an immovable block. Immovable blocks are obsidian, furnaces, chests, dispensers, droppers, hoppers, but I guess obsidian is the best and looks the best. So then again we're going to put a piston on the other side and just repeat it mirrored and do the same thing all over again until we hit our height that we want. So if we feel it's enough, we're gonna put another row of whatever block you're using, then a piston facing your way, and then another row of whatever block you're using. Now for the sides we're gonna put torch towers upwards, just like this. Just the same zigzag pattern that we have down there. And this will push out all of the pistons, so that's not a big deal. And create that all the way to the top on this side. And at the front here we're gonna put a pillar of blocks, and wherever there are torches we're gonna put a block sort of underneath, diagonally underneath, and put redstone dust on top of it, and it should look like this. So we're also going to do that on every layer. And so on and so on. Oh. And on the other side as well, we're going to put a block on top of here with a torch here and continue the torch tower from there on. And this is sort of shifted by 1 block, but that is intended because the pistons are also shifted by 1 block. And then we're gonna also put a pillar of blocks here, and every other block we're gonna put some redstone. So it should look somehow like this. If there are pistons sticking out, then you can fix that by pressing that pressure plate down there. And on the side where the piston is that will push us out, we're just gonna put another torch onto that torch tower and another torch that will then activate the piston right there. Then we will put a button diagonally above it, and put a block behind that with a redstone dust on top. Now down below, where we have our hopper that's facing into nowhere, we're just going to put a dropper facing upwards. There. And another one. Then a hopper that's gonna face into this direction. We can take out that block right here. And another dropper that's facing upwards. And that goes into a hopper that faces in this direction. And then we just build a dropper tower upwards until we hit that block. There we're going to place a dropper facing towards us, to the empty space basically. And then we're just going to cover that up so that the item doesn't fly out anywhere. So then we can test it. Excellent, it works. And we can put like a stack of items in there. And I would also recommend putting a stack of items in the bottom dropper. Now there are only 4 little things left to do. The first one is we want to have these 2 droppers powered as well by the torch tower. So we're just gonna put another torch right there and a block on top so that this block can power this dropper. Not any further, because this dropper right here must only be powered by the button right there. Now down at the bottom we're gonna put next to the hopper a block with a comparator running out of that block into another block, and down below a piece of redstone dust and a repeater. Now on this side we're gonna put a sort of stairs shape, however you call that, and put redstone dust all the way here. Block that off right there and block that off here again. And a redstone repeater on 4 ticks. So the next thing is put in your glass like this, so that you don't get pushed out at the front. We can just fix the pistons by doing that. And what I forgot to mention, this has to be on 4 ticks. So now we can test it. And everything works fine. Now 2 more things. If the delay from stepping onto, if that happens, you can do something like this. Just take out that repeater right there and put in 2 repeaters. That will give you a full second to activate the elevator. And then you can put repeaters here and another block here, and that will actually give you 1.4 seconds if you do it like this. There you go. And the second thing is, if you put hopper minecarts all the way from the bottom to there, it can get quite laggy on a server. I mean, in single player it's probably not a problem, but on a server this can cause a bit of lag, so I wouldn't recommend that. It's much faster, but I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. This has been Dro, and leave a like if you enjoyed it, if you learned something, and I'll see you, as always, next time.